Hello YouTube, Swordsman Gaming here, coming to you with the third episode in our Cosmic Quest. I recently bought some new editing software so I can finally do cutscenes. So I'm going to build a rocket that will get us into orbit, and you guys are going to come back when it's finished. Alright, so I finally finished the rocket, and this is my final product. It is pretty big. I mean, it's not too modest, but, you know, it's relatively simple. We are now using these solid fuel boosters, which can be helpful and cannot be helpful, and I'll explain why. Unlike the liquid fuel swivel engines that I have down here, the solid fuel boosters, once you turn them on, they can't be turned off. So, basically, it's going to be more difficult for us to slow down. So that's why we're probably not going to use a lot of throttle in the early parts of the mission, because these solid fuel boosters will be doing most of the work for us. However, once these run out of fuel, our liquid fuel engines are going to kick in, and it'll carry us up into a suborbital trajectory where the smaller stage will take over. And let's just add some aerodynamics really quick. I forgot to do that. Just like that. Maybe one there. And let's say, just for good measure. So yeah, those little winglets will keep us stable in the lower atmosphere. Oh yeah, where was I? So this lower stage, this larger stage, is what's probably gonna get us up in orbit. We may not have enough delta V. Hopefully we do. If we don't, though, we have the secondary stage here. It's a much smaller stage that's gonna get us up there. And I also have the Science Junior Experiment Lab here. I believe we could open it, and you can see all the scientific computers and stuff inside of it. But yeah, so as you can see, it's very big, and therefore it also weighs a lot. So what I'm going to do is, instead of recovering the experiments and bringing them back to the Earth, I'm going to use this decoupler here to jettison the science down to the Earth. It's going to get burned up in the atmosphere, but we're going to use these little antennae here to transmit the data back to Kerman. So that way the weight of this scientific experiment won't bring us down too hard, because we have this really small parachute that's probably not going to be enough. So if we hit the ground too hard, first of all, we might explode and die. Second of all, the scientific experiment container would blow up, and all these science would be lost. So we're going to transmit it at a cost, though, because if you transmit data, you lose some of its value. I believe that's it. I think we should save it, and, well, first of all, we're taking out the first female Kerman into space. Her name is Gleelyn? Gleelyn Kerman is her name. She's a pilot. And as you can see, I also hired a lot more other pilots and stuff that will definitely be used on future missions. But let's launch. Alright. So, here we are on the launch pad. We're going to press the T key. Uh-oh, those solid fuel boosters do not look very stable. I'm gonna throttle back some. Let's get out of here. Oh no! Those don't look very stable at all. Oh dear. I need to get rid of these solid fuel boosters very soon. Once these things run out of fuel, I am getting rid of them. Uh-oh. Crud. I'm gonna jettison. Disaster! Alright. I am going to take the scientific data, though, before we hit the Earth. Or Kerman. Let's transmit that. Oh no! What a shame! Alright. I'm going to deploy the chute. Whoa! Hopefully, well, I'm gonna... First of all, let's do these Google experiments really quick. Whoa, that was a big explosion. It's a good thing we managed to get out of there in time. Well, it wasn't a total loss. We still gained some science from it. And she's still alive. That's most obviously, you know, yeah, she came first, not the science. People first, science later. Alright, well, back to the drawing board. Well, I believe I fixed the problem. The last time I launched, there was too much thrust that was pushing on the spacecraft, and that ripped it apart, essentially. That was way too much thrust. So instead of using those larger thumper solid fuel boosters, we're going to be using the slightly smaller hammer solid fuel booster. This has a thrust limit of 210 units, and this has a thrust limit of 275 units. Not a lot of difference on the thrust, but what is the difference is the amount of fuel they have. These obviously have a lot less fuel, so I'll be able to get rid of them sooner if there's a problem. So yeah, let's save it. Hit the launch pad again. Alright, here we go. We're gonna hit the T key. Oh, we have a little bit of a wobbling issue again. Hopefully this won't tear it apart. Oh dear, it looks like it might. Maybe? Yeah, it looks like it. Jettison those. And we escape. I'm gonna take more science. I don't know what the point is because we're obviously just gonna get destroyed. So I'm just gonna jettison it. Get rid of it. Fire the parachute. That's unfortunate. Well, we should watch the wreckage hitting the ground and exploding. Alright. Well, back to the drawing board a second time. Alright, I believe I found the solution to the problem. And I've just taken off the solid fuel boosters entirely, so this is just going to be a liquid stage rocket into orbit. Same general design though, so let's see if it works. I'm going to save it, launch. Okay. Time to launch Explorer 1. Hopefully, things won't go quite as bad. We have liftoff. Oh, it's shaking a little. It's shaking. But it looks like we're relatively stable. Alright. You can see our shadow. This is going well, this is going well. Already we're half a kilometer into the sky. Still going. Once we get... I don't want to push the aerodynamic limit of this ship because it's unstable. So the reason this ship is pointing upward is because there's more weight in the bottom stage than there is in the top stage. So if you were to hold a yo-yo, like in your hand by the string, the yo-yo would always find the bottom. It would always hang down. However, as the fuel is being sucked out of this stage, and there's no fuel being sucked out of this stage, the top is going to slowly become heavier than the bottom. And as that happens, we're going to experience a load shift, which could cause the rocket to spin out of control, which we don't want. So we're going to throttle back. Well, we're already experiencing a load shift. That's what I was talking about. So, whoa. Alright, well, obviously, we're not going to make it into space at this point. Or are we? Maybe I could turn this around. Oh, no. Darn. Come on, you can do it. Full throttle. Come on. Come on. Use those angling engines. We can do it. Keep it going. Oh, no. Oh, we're losing control. Oh, dear. Whoa. That was violent. Alright, so we're just going to get rid of this stage entirely. Fire up our second engine and throttle up. Okay. So obviously that stage didn't work very well, but that's the reason we have the second stage, so we can still get higher up into the atmosphere and conduct science. I doubt we're going to make it into orbit, but we're still going to manage to get higher. So it's not just rockets that experience load shifts as well. There have been many airline accidents that involve similar principles. Yeah, we're experiencing some shock heating. Normally we think of shock heating when we're re-entering, but shock heating can occur when you're exiting, and that's when you're going. It's the same effect, it's just the other way around. Alright, so we go on the map. We have an apoapse of 88,000 meters. That's more than enough to conduct an EVA report. So this mission is not going to be for nothing. Let's jettison that empty stage. And we're gonna time accelerate up to the apoapse very slowly. Almost there. So yeah, that's our debris. You can see its orbit slightly lower than ours. That's because the explosion, that very small explosion from the decoupler, actually slowed it down a bit. It didn't. It might have pushed us away as well, so that kind of acts as a bit of propellant. Anyway, so here we are up here. We're gonna right-click on the materials bay, open it, and we will be receiving our first reading from suborbit with this science lab. The microgravity has greatly affected the growth of crystalline structures. Loose objects are also flying around the bay in a very messy but fascinating way. I am sure that is noteworthy. Let's keep that. We're going to transmit the data by deploying our antenna. Oh no! We ran out of electric charge. Darn it. So we didn't have enough electric charge to transmit, which is unfortunate. However, we still are going to have... I don't think we are running a risk of our Kerbal dying, because they can still survive several hours inside of their spacesuit after the charge runs out. So we can still conduct some goo experiments. Let's do a quick EVA. I'm not going to fly around in the rocket pack since we're actually falling back into the atmosphere. So I'm going to keep that data and hop back in really quick. Let's conduct a crew report as well. 5 science, that's good. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Let's keep that. So now we're going to jettison the scientific bay, and it's just going to fly away. Let's conduct our other goo experiment. Keep that. So, since this antenna is pretty much stuck open because we don't have any electric charge to bring it back in, it's most likely going to burn up on re-entry. That's if we get enough shock heating, which we might not, because I don't think we're going fast enough. But who knows? I'm just going to cut to the re-entry phase. Alright, we're falling back in on the atmosphere, and we are getting some shock heating. I won't be surprised if that antenna breaks up. We are slowing down, though. Yeah, I don't think it will. That wasn't a high enough temperature. We are getting some Mach effects, though. That's that white mist that you're seeing. That's the debris. That's our science lab that's falling back. Alright. We're going beneath 300 meters per second, so we can fire the drag chute. Start slowing down. And I'm just going to cut to us splashing down. splashdown. The first woman Kerbal in space has returned safely to the planet's surface. Though the mission was not successful, it also was not a total loss, as we were also able to collect some more surface samples from the ocean, which we will keep. So, even though we didn't make it into orbit, this was still a success. Oh, here comes the science lab. Oh no, wait, is that the science lab? Well, whatever it was, it's gone now. Anyway, this has been Swordsman Gaming, signing off. So we just splashed down in the water safely, and we have also safely returned the first woman Kerbal in space safely back to the surface. Even though the mission was not a complete success, we were able to recover a decent amount of science, and that will go towards helping us conquer the universe. So it was still a success. I think this was a success because we figured out another way to not do it wrong.